of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Bring your friends, it's fun to lose and play pretend. It's overboard and self-assured. No, I know the dirty word. Hello, 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 hello. With the lights out, it's a stage rush. Here we are now.
Here we are now. Here you are. Here I am. How you doing? Welcome into the channel. Look, shout out Don Hassam. He's been pushing me to try and do more on the channel like I used to. So I'm going to try and utilize a little time rather than just playing video games. I'm actually going to do a stream, and I thought it might be something interesting to do, which is a series. And this is episode 1. I don't know what the name of it is, but this is the first episode of whatever this is going to be called, because I'm going to react to some videos from this alleged Tottenham community that is online. We're going to laugh at it a little bit. We're going to poke some fun, and I'm going to tell some home truths. And you know, I was going to play the video of the guy getting arrested. Please, sir, I committed no offense. Fuck it, I might actually even play it right now. But I have not committed an offense. However, some people might take this as an offensive, but so be it. Sometimes, you know, when you make your bed, you must lie in it. When you say things where you think it's okay just because you're in your little echo chamber, I'm going to start calling it out. There's a whole thing going on right now with Tottenham Hotspur's YouTube specifically, where they do, I'm not naming any names, but I'm just going to talk very indirectly about this person as if there's no mistaking who I'm talking about. So I'm going to cut through all that bullshit, and I'm just going to go and I'm going to name people. So off the top, within 5 minutes, I'm going to say, I'm calling out someone like Ben Kaufman. I'm calling out someone like Brian Daigle. I'm calling out someone like anyone in that affiliation. Because it's interesting, you know, Levy Out's getting a lot more movement, and then you start getting the, now you want to join me. Whereas, you know, I remember there's a video that Sava from Football Heritage did, and he said, let's not do this whole, I was here first and you said this about me thing. And then the people that he's propping up and helping with their motives, they do the most heinous shit you've ever, the most high school, maybe heinous isn't the word, maybe high school, immature, weird shit. So we're going to laugh at a little bit of it today. This is obviously the first episode. And it's not just about one single person, rather a group of people. But let's say hello to the chat real quick before we keep on going. Big up Sean Hurl, I see in the house. Futilities here. Compost Murph. You're a Man United fan, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Tottenham is keeping me up late at night, but there ain't no rest for the wicked. Futility 1912 is here. How you doing, Yogi Bear? Hotspur Hippie. We've actually got one of his videos queued up to help emphasize a point that I'm trying to make. So interesting that what did they say about Paul now that, you know, he's doing the same thing, which is, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. If I'm talking about someone, I'm gonna say your name. And I respect that a whole hell of a lot more than this pussyfooting, this whole like, I'm not naming anyone, but I mean that one guy with that beard and he's bald and he says peace and love, man. It's like, it's like with Thomas Party, how the the UK government, you know, how they do that thing where they're like, a 31-year-old male who plays in the English Premier League for a North London team, unnamed, but here's every detail about him so you could use deductive reasoning. And you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to make it real simple. Ain't no deductive reasoning needed. So big up to anyone calling the show. And another thing that Paul does that not to go on a tangent here, but, you know, you hear so much from one selective, very vocal, very loud group of people in this community. I'm going crisis. We're in a crisis. Everyone's so mean. But it's weird because, those who throw the stone should be willing to accept said stone when it's thrown back. So, you know what? Let's play ball. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to name and shame because shame. Salam alaikum, Royale. Good to see you in the house. Hello, Nick Football Club. I'm doing a little bit of Nick's Football Club. Make sure you subscribe to Nick's Football Club, by the way. He does a lot of reactions to different stuff going on in the whole YouTube world. But this is going to be more Tottenham specific about just how toxic and weird and yeah, bring up my baldness. Yeah, you are bald, so you got to hold that. Unnamed football. Yeah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna just say it's Thomas Party. Corrupt, calling out names vibe. Haha, get it. Hey, I mean, this isn't a try and one up. This isn't a try and get one on people. This is more of a, I'm just gonna start calling the shit out. I'm gonna call it out. When I see it, I'm gonna call it out. And I ain't gonna be, someone on some channel said this. Nah, I'm gonna be like, Paul the Hotspur hippie said this. Sava from Football Heritage said that. Or in the most present case, it's Brian Daigle. Brian Daigle. Sava's in the chat, but there's a few minutes of this. So this is the end of one of Ben Kaufman's streams. And also, who else is involved in this? Kate from The Perfect Match. Kate and Jimbo. Oh no. Which again, someone who often, like Paul the Hotspur hippie, like myself, they get the brunt end of some very weird energy. And I'm just gonna try and match that energy. I'm gonna get fucking down in the dirt with them. And let's just listen to a little bit, and then this will help segue me into the points. Because as you know, I don't really have much prepared other than what I know that has been said, and I'm going to talk about it.
What a wonderful thing to say to people.
So the first thing I left it off here is there's a a comment here from Football Heritage TV. Sava says, Brian, you lot are just, quote, clout chasing dickheads, which I'm assuming, since he put quotation marks around it, it is, I also got this. Yeah, hey, we watching you now. When the eye of Jacob's on you, ain't nobody safe. Not even Chewy. Where is Chewy? Oh, anyway. I'm looking at you now, buddy. We're watching. Loud and clear, my friend. So they said, quote, clout chasing dickheads. So, I like this little playful banter about, someone said I'm a clout chasing dickhead, or we are clout chasing dickheads because of whatever, who knows. So I left this here on purpose because this was the point that I wanted to make of they do the whole, here's a quote from someone that said something, and if you know, therefore we're talking about X, Y, or Z. So that's just an example of the whole pussyfoot and beating around the bush thing.
Kids.
So mate, these people.
What a wonderful thing to say to people.
No, it's not even that. Do you know what it is as well? These people coming out of the woodwork like nothing. People like Sava and Stell put on shows
and Jacob
to say, stop doing this behind you, or sorry, should I say, stop doing this and come do this?
I'm speeding
Very
it up a
few
little
people
bit.
did. Very few people did.
So he's making a point that Sava and Stell, they put on shows where people can come do this and not this. And I'll be honest, I do too. I have too. People don't show up. I have a pull up and talk to me, convince me, pull up and debate me so hard right now, mate. Oh, I'm about to debate my fucking pants. So it's, yeah. So he's basically shaming people who have reasonings for why they're not able to make said debates, which this is the thing that I used to beat around the bush, because I've heard Sava do it and Brian's doing it effectively in this video that I'm showing. That Big up Kuva, man. Always good to see Kuva. Shout out Kuva99 every time. But you know, they're saying, oh, no one pulls up to these shows. Well, no one pulled up to my show. Not Brian, not Sava. Well, actually, Sava did. Shout out Sava because he did. He pulled up once because he said, no one's going to pull up and debate you. I'll debate you. And we had a very good conversation, which again, that's all it's got to be. You disagree, it's got to just be a nice little conversation. And at the end, we can shake hands and say, agree to disagree, or, oh, wow, I didn't see it that way. That's very nice. And that's why I rate Sava, because we are able to have these conversations. However, from his, like, for Sava, he does this thing where he facilitates, he provides the playground for these mongrels to run loose. And for me, I'm not saying it's just as bad, but it's the same reason why I'm shaming Ben for allowing it. Because when I see some bullshit, I call it out. When I hear some shit I don't agree with, I call it out. So if you don't, I'm led to believe that you're okay with these things being said. And again, like, I like Ben Kaufman. I got nothing really against him outside of, you know, the things he says and some of the actions he has, which is one we'll discuss here right now. But another is the whole, like, oh, I get it so harsh and I get this abuse. And he says it, Sava says it, and to be fair, man, Sava does get abuse. Some of it I don't think is abuse, but then there's a definite line that people cross with Sava that I think is absolutely terrible. So don't cross that line with people. Like, that's just not cool, because I don't rate that at all. And like, for all the disagreements, all the things I don't agree with Sava, I think I still think he's not a disgusting human being underneath it all. He's just opinionated and he's very vocal on how he wants to say it. So fair enough. And he's also, I agree, he's not afraid or shy to pull up and give his opinions, and I rate that as a human. But you know,
no matter what, all of these people
he goes on
it and give it, but when they have a platform, oh, I can't, I'm at work. Oh, I can't, my internet's down. Oh, I can't, shut your mouth.
Oh, shut your mouth. I have work or my internet's down. I would say two very plausible reasons why you might not be able to pull up. And I'm sympathetic to that, which, you know, I've said on this platform and, you know, before, I think it was maybe in the summer or something, Sava, I was in his chat, I was with my kids, and he called me out. So I called in with my kids screaming in the background. And I remember I got a little angry, and, you know, it was, but it's all good. Like, we talk about, you can talk through your anger, your disagreements with people. But what doesn't work in your favor is, you know, why don't you do your own content? This is my own content, by the way, Maddie. I'm literally talking and doing it right now, so it is mine. And also, why steal others' videos? It's not stealing if it's in the public mainframe. What kind of weird shit is this? And have you asked them? No, I don't need to ask permission for shit. You put anything on your public profile, it is there for public consumption. Therefore, I'm able to chew on it, spit on it, shit on it, laugh at it, do whatever I want with it, because you put it out there. I know you're a young man, Maddie, so we'll give you a pass on the naivety, but it's not stealing other people's content. It's commenting on their content and saying how I think that they're wrong or foolish or whatever. Exactly, fair use. So shout out Knicks Football Club. If you think that that's stealing, you think Knicks Football Club is fucking Nicolas Cage and what is that? What is the Nick Cage movie where he steals? The Da Vinci Code. That's the one I'm thinking of. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Let's get back to his point about, oh, people are scared. They're coming out of the woodwork now.
But when they have a platform, oh, I can't, I'm at work. Oh, I can't, my internet's down. Oh, I can't, shut your mouth. Just stop running your mouth and calling people out, because if you walk down the street and saw Sava, or saw Stel, or saw me, or saw whoever, you ain't doing nothing.
That's actually really funny. Because if you see me, you ain't doing nothing. Well, to be fair, one of those three names that he mentioned, I would absolutely love to see in the street, and there would be something done. But if I saw Sava in the street, I would absolutely say something to Sava. I'd be like, hey, I'm in the UK. So he's talking a big one right now, and I think it's funny. It's very funny, you know. Again, people get in their little chambers of comfortability. They get in their little chambers of like, oh, I feel safe here, and I could just say whatever the fuck I want. All right, so can I.
You ain't doing nothing.
Shut up.
All
You
you're
ain't
gonna
doing
do is
nothing.
walk past, blah blah blah. That's it. People come for, and I've seen in a certain guy's video who I won't go into, but
Yeah, there it is. Remember the aforementioned? I'm going to talk about this guy. I won't go into details on his name. However, I'm going to continue to talk. Why? What is that? That's pussyfooting. That's why I'm calling y'all by first name. I'm showing your face. Boop boop. Here he is. But I'm not going to say his name out of respect for Ben or whatever, but I'm going to just talk about him indirectly. But it's so oddly specific. It's a 30s Premier League player who's plays for a North London club. He's a midfielder. It's giving weird vibes.
let's just say he's got a couple of guys in there that would like to bring
Hey, a couple of guys in there is crazy.
And Stell's name into it.
A couple of guys in there is crazy.
Channels, but they won't once step in to a chat I'm in or Sava's in.
I'm here right now. I'm in a chat right now. My chat's here. I'm here. I'm chatting. So yeah, they would. Wrong again. If this is baseball, it's not. But 3 strikes, you're out.
Or Stell's in, but they feel they can
Seen it
go
with me.
Step into a chat room where Stell's in. So there's going to be a lot of room in there. Not a very big person.
Okay, people go into chats that are not affiliated.
Mate,
with you. They call me a
it's-
toxic snake.
Okay, so then Ben chimes in and says, people in the comments, which is funny because if I pull up, there's someone actually mentions me in the chat. I think it was Lord Rodney Trotter. And he goes, it's funny now, I don't see Jacob giving it the biggin in Sava's chat anymore. Well, there's reasons for that. However, that's not what I'm talking about tonight. What I'm talking about is this, like, I'm a victim, but yet it's occurring in your chat as you say this. That's interesting because you say, I'm not even in this chat. I'm not affiliated with this chat. And there's people calling me a toxic dickhead snake. And while I agree that's not right, why are you facilitating it then? The hypocrisy. Because as you'll see later, there is some more. There's some more we can go through. But I agree. Like, he shouldn't pull up to a chat and just already see himself being mentioned. But again, when you're in the public space, you are fair game. When you swim in the ocean, you can get stung by a jellyfish. You could get bit by the shark. You can get tickled by the dolphin. You could get snorted on by the fucking whale, whatever the fuck. So again, you put your face out there, you put your name out there. It takes a little bit of balls to do that. So big up to Ben and Brian and Kuva, because they are absolutely why the fuck is Matty K a mod? Well, he was nice to me. Well, he's kind of being what are y'all doing here? Oh yeah, Matty K's timing you out. Let's go ahead. We'll take that off. There you go. It's done. Big up Mountain Bush, man. Anyway, I'm trying to not read the chat or look at it, but I occasionally do, and it distracts me, you sexy bastards. But I'm going to leave it on this form now. I'm actually going to make it larger, so that way you can see the chat as I play it and it starts populating. Because I agree, Ben, you shouldn't be getting that. However, you can, and it's not the end of the world if you do. Because, again, you have a channel, you voice your opinion, you go in people's chats calling people a clown for their opinions, which is probably why he's not in my chat anymore, because our Tottenham opinions kind of don't really coincide. And I think that, again, it's okay. Like I said before with Sava, our Tottenham opinions don't coincide. But how am I able to have simple conversations with him? And to be fair to Sava as well, he does not facilitate this kind of shit in his chat. He doesn't facilitate people being talked about when they're not there, or people like being slandered like that. So, and every time that since Sava has made a point to put the foot on that, I have noticed that I don't get it anytime I go into his chat, which is why I do. Because he makes it a little bit more of a safer place, kind of like he wants it to be a certain way. So he makes his space a certain way, which... that is matching energy. Yes. Plus. Ding, ding. Yes. Green arrow, green tick, whatever. Because honestly, if you're going to say you don't want something to happen, but then you allow it to happen in your backyard, in your front yard, in your house, well, then I have little sympathy for that.
For
It's-
example,
Mate, it's just so stupid. It's
So
so
childish.
stupid. And their name is something like user and loads of numbers or some kind of nickname for when they were like 13 years old. Everything Savva does, everything I do, I have my face behind
Why didn't he say everything Stell does? Oh, I bet I know why.
everything. My profile pictures on all my social media.
Yeah.
I put my face on here.
Yeah, you do.
Everything.
That's why you're able to be
It's
talked
just
about.
sad people
Yeah, they are sad. I
that
agree.
think they can run their mouth,
Yeah.
go behind people's back, go and challenge. And Savva's called it out when he sees it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Called
but
it
you're
out when he
Savva.
sees it. And on that part, he's bang on the money. He's bang on the money.
So he's bang on the money, but yet we're gonna do the things that he says don't to do. Whoa, it's like, yeah, you're right, honey. I should do X, Y, and Z. But I'm looking at A, B, and C anyway, and I'm gonna do that anyway.
These people, I'd love to watch. Do you know what? Do you know what? There was nothing would give me more pleasure than for me, Savva, and Stell to
Oh, I
walk
like this
down the
part.
road.
Hang on, I got to rewind it because I like this part. And I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat here. Wait, maybe I need to do live replay because when I was watching it, I was like, oh, look, someone mentioned me in a chat that I'm not involved in, which would just solidify the point that I was making earlier about Ben. But this next part is fun. This part,
Do you know
this
what?
part
There
is
was nothing would give me more pleasure
because nothing would give him more pleasure than this.
than for me, Savva, and Stell to walk down the road knowing they're all there. All these people that want to run their mouth out and call us out. We won't do anything.
I'm running my mouth. I'm calling everyone else out. What about that?
We'll just walk down the road. Won't hear a sodding thing. Won't.
That's not true because either they don't know who you are and they just won't say anything to you because they don't know who you are, or B, yeah, they would, like I would, like I'm gonna bring Kate and Jim into it, and something that they told me in private. Stell was talking all this shit about Kate, calling them, I don't remember the adjective and all the other vernaculars he was using because he's quite a color. I wouldn't even say colorful, quite a dull pastel of insults. But he was insulting Kate one day, and Jim basically said, keep talking about my wife, I'm gonna fuck you up when I see you. And they actually saw each other outside of the stadium, and apparently Stell didn't say shit and walked the other way. So it's funny that you would get more pleasure than you and your two mates walking down the street and no one's gonna say nothing. Well, first of all, if I was there, I would. For each of them, different reasons, I would say. Let me differentiate. For each of them, I would differentiate why I would stop, but I would say stop and say something to all three of them.
Won't hear a bloody word.
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
But they think they can get behind the keyboards, do what they do. And like I've said, thank you so much for the comedy. I found it.
Brilliant.
It has
It
been
is comedy at the end of the day.
I pissed myself. And the good thing is we all have a good joke about it.
Yeah.
So as you see, Kate just commented because she said, Brian, Stell runs his mouth. Don't worry about that. As in, yeah, someone will say something to him because that motherfucker runs his mouth. And, there's an old saying that, there's the comment right here. I've seen Jacob begging Savage chat for months. He's given up now. See, so there's the comment. Like I said, I wasn't lying. I'm being talked about. And so Ben is okay with it. He's clearly reading the chat. He's pulling up the comments that he agrees with, which will lead into another point later, which you'll see a whole different energy from Brian. Because right now it's the chest out. We can walk down the street. You ain't saying nothing to me. And like, cool, I rate the energy because I'm the same fucking way. But I am a motherfucker who would say something. However, I mean, geographically, we're actually in the same continent, so we could make it happen. But I'm not saying that I want some kind of negativity with it. I just honestly, I just calling it how I see it. You know what I mean? And Maddie K just regurgitating what your mates tell you. I'm gonna do probably what someone should have done a while and just put you in a little timeout there, buddy. Naughty little Maddie. Young man, so I made a lot of mistakes when I was a kid too. So fair play. But back to this. So anyway, people are gonna say nothing. But Ben says it's not fair that I get this called a toxic snake in chats that I'm not even involved in. But here I am being involved in a chat that I'm not involved in, begging Sava's chat. But I gave up. Oh, but I gave up. No, I just actually don't have as much time as I used to chat. And secondly, Sava facilitates a bunch of bullshit on his channel as far as the panelists, and I don't like to hear it. So I don't tune in when 45% of his shows have Stell on, because I don't like to listen to fucking idiot pieces of shit. Whenever he has other people on, sometimes I do tune in. So, which isn't an indictment on Sava other than the facilitation part, which is weird, but it's all like, again, I just struggle with the notion that he's giving it the big in this whole like you ain't saying nothing when you see us. Nothing would fucking give me more pleasure right now than the three of us walking down, no one saying shit. Well, then Kate virtually says something. Don't worry, Brian. Stell runs his mouth plenty. Big up. No, it canigism. This is a sad indictment of our fan base. Absolutely. One rule for them and one for everyone else. So many two-faced, BS, unhanded, idiotic behavior. You're absolutely spot on the money. Thank you for the donation for the super chat. Appreciate you. It's the first time I've seen your name in the chat. But yeah, that's why I'm not going to just sit by and do what Sheriff 2 Marks wants me to do. Stop talking about him, then Simples. I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want about. So it's okay. Because the same people that this sheriff defends are the same pieces of shit that talk the most shit about everybody. And not just one person, lots of them. Kenny Powers walking down the hall. You right about that. Big up Johnny Reviews. Good morning. Great channel. Go subscribe. This is another point that we'll get on later. So big up Dr. Johnny. But absolutely, it's more of a, hey, I'm right. I was here first, rather than let's actually change something at Tottenham. So again, in correlation to the video that I did yesterday, if you didn't see the video I did yesterday, it was about like a 12 or 15-minute video, something like that, where I said Tottenham fans need to be the change. Because like Brian, like Sava, like Ben, Kuva, everyone else, we all want some change in this club to see something different, which I agree 100%. We need some change. But then why, when people are, moseying around it, there's offensive attacks to them. When someone has a disagreement, it's fuck you. I'm not going to talk about him, but I'm going to mention everything about him. And in a coma, this is why a lot of people don't get on board with the protest, which that is another point that I'm going to bring up. I have this video here from Paul talking about the abject failure of the Leave You Out movement, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Try making your own content. I am Sheriff. Right now I am. You can hold that. You think this isn't my own content? But it is. You can hold that. Both hands, my friend. So moving along. Let's continue. Don't worry, Sheriff. You don't have to be here. Again, this whole do your own content instead of talking about others. No, Sheriff, you're going to sit there and abide by the people who do I'm not talking about you, but I'm actually talking about you. No, Sheriff. No, I won't do that. I cut through the pussyfooting, because guess what? Mama ain't raised no bitch. And I ain't just going to sit. Like I said, I got my fucking eye out, bro. I'm watching. I see you, Sheriff. You're a defender of fucking pieces of shit, so you can get it too, as far as I'm concerned.
We all have a good joke about it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, we do have a good joke about it.
So I would love to walk down the road.
I would love it too.
With all these people down there.
Me included.
And come and say what you want to me. Have the guts to come and say.
Let's have a chat. That's
yeah. So I agree with Ben. Let's have a chat. That's what Sava and I do every time we have a disagreement. Let's have a chat. Nah.
Let's just have a chat. But without further ado, that is the end of
so Ben's trying to end the show. But let's look back at the comment. Here's another one. If you can read that. This is from Daniel90, says Sava. Okay, because they're wait, what did Sava say? Brian, we got called the Three Stooges today. Which is, yeah, that's funny. He's laughing about it. And I think it's funny too. Which I've always tried to draw the line between Sava and Stell, because to me, there's a clear difference in the human. and the motive and the heart. But that's a different discussion. So where was it? So they were asking like, oh, who called you the Three Stooges? And then Daniel says, Sava, by a man who's supposed to be about peace, man. So wonder who they're referring to. The only Tottenham guy that says, I'm being timed out for stating my opinion. No, you're being pretty nasty to people in the chat. So I think that's why you probably got timed out. I need to stop reading the chat. Let me tab over so I can stay on point here, because I don't want this to go too long, because it is late in the evening for me, and I still want to try and get in a game or two of FIFA. So again, they're in the chat mentioning me by name, but not mentioning others by name, but slyly mentioning that might be who it is. It's just so weird. So Kate goes in and says, Brian, Stell runs his mouth. Don't worry about that in regards to I'd love to walk down the street. And Ben tries to wrap up the show here. And Kate puts in a comment, says he called me a scumbag over his social media.
Quickly, can I just give a quick...
He said both of them too about Jimbo, which Jimbo's...
On this subject,
Jimbo's a saint.
People will criticize him all day long.
Kuva bigs up box office Alex, which I want to big up box office Alex as well. Just take a moment and say big up Alex box office. He is a real one in a community with seldom real ones. Box office is a real one. So Kuva just bigging him up.
If he's invited to a debate, he turns up every time.
Yeah,
every time. Doesn't back away from anything. I respect that more than some people who say give all the big words, but then when they come to actually.
So it's ironic, Kuva, that you're saying you respect it more when people do what box office does, which I respect what box office does, but you respect that more than when people give it the big words, which literally just happened. That's funny.
Having a debate on it, they run away.
Well,
the excuse is
I've never ran from anything or anybody in my life. Because first of all, I don't run very fast. So what's the point? If someone's, if I'm going to run from danger, it's going to catch me. So may as well turn and face it, like a man. So I never ran. Box office doesn't run. Sava doesn't run. That's a good trait in a man.
They're like Spurs injuries.
Yeah.
Sorry, my internet is a slow connection.
Yeah, that is it. It's really sad. Everyone just needs to name calling is just stupid. Absolutely stupid. But thank you all so much for watching today's show. We will be company.
It's going to be here again today or Wednesday.
I'll skip forward a little bit because this is the part that I really wanted to highlight. So gives it the biggin, does all this, and I've been hearing him making the rounds. Like I was watching his channel, Tottenham on Tour the other day, reluctantly, and was talking about bringing the fans together and like uniting the fan base, which I like that. That's like solving world hunger. That's like every dog has been adopted. There's no stray dogs anymore. It's like a great idea, but realistically, plausibly will never fucking happen. So it's fun. Yeah, the peace prick. The guy who says peace and love. Yeah, fuck that guy.
On Jess's channel, JSY Talk.
So you can see he just read Kate's comment where she's like, yeah, I didn't think you'd bring that comment up. Because he was bringing up every comment around hers, but obviously left out the ones that, go against the guy that Ben has told me privately, like to me, how bad the shit is that Stell did and said and how awful it is yet again, but facilitates it, partakes in it. It's like, what's that old saying they used to say? I'm going to change the words a little bit because it's not this extreme, but it's like, if there's one dickhead, or excuse me, if there's three dickheads eating at a table and you go sit down with them, I'm going to think you're a fucking dickhead. And it's just that simple. Virus Man, I mean, you can call him a PE teacher. This is not even about ain't in, ain't out. This is about Tottenham Hotspur fans, fucking hypocrisies, weird energy that they like flexing, but then like, let's get into it.
Great stuff. Brian, when have we not got a show, Aki?
Well, I plan this week to flood Tottenham on Tour content. I plan to get a lot out. If anyone, I've got 160 of you that you've recorded and send to Tottenham on Tour. Kate, I will talk. Joe, what you?
So here's the part that I wanted to go to. I wouldn't say guilty by association, but I would say, yeah, if you're like inviting a bunch of pieces of shit to your house and you invite me, I'm going to A, think that you think I'm a piece of shit, and B, be like, why do you, maybe you're a piece of shit because you want all the, I don't know, maybe I need to get the eye out here. We need to examinate. But let's, so the energy starts to change here in this beautiful community of us. It starts to, the energy shifts because Kate brought up, hey, Brian, you're doing all this. And but that's your mate that you're defending and you're bigging up, Stell. But he gives all this. He throws the most rocks out of anybody, and cries the loudest when the smallest pebble is thrown back at him. I'm sure this video, they'll probably, someone's gonna be like wham wham cry victim, which is why I named it Cry-sis.
5-minute pre-record videos that you've recorded.
So
and
here,
sent
I
to me,
rewound it so
or
we
us
could see this
at
again.
Tottenham on Tour. Whether you've got me on social media,
Look
whether
at,
you want to email
just watch the energy.
Tottenham on Tour.
Watch the energy.
Kate, I will talk. Joe, what you brought it up. Listen, you want to mention Stell and he runs his back. That's between you and Stell. That's between you and Stell. I don't know why. I'm talking about right now the abuse that we.
So that's between you and Stell. But then it's like, I would love to walk down the street with Stell and hear no one say anything, or just walk through all the haters or whatever the fuck he said. But as soon as Kate provides any objectivity, crank that volume. There goes the. We're turning up now. We're turning up, and it's because why? Because he's defensive of Stell. I get it. You've been mates for a long time. This is why I've never trusted Brian, or the whole like, this guy's my brother. This guy's my brother. Bro, you don't got that many brothers. I barely know you, and you call me your brother. And like if it's a Hulk Hogan brother, that's one thing. Like, hey, brother. But it's like, hey, my family, my brother, this community. Yeah, we're all together. But Kate, don't you dare bring up how Stell was mean to you. That's between you and blah, blah, blah. It's like, where's that same fucking energy, Brian? Where's that same fucking energy? Because you don't keep it for your mates, but you keep it for Kate, and you keep it for anyone who objects you. Let's watch.
That we get. And the first thing people do is do this. I don't know why you want now the abuse that we get.
So, sorry, the part that I fucked up right there in the playback. He's like, I'm talking about the abuse that we get.
And the first
So
thing
was Kate. That's literally what she was talking about.
people do is do this. I don't know why you want to do this, Kate.
Because you're doing it. What don't you understand? Like, it's right in front of your face, and you're saying, huh, I don't know why you're doing that. Why are they so upset with me? All I did was shit in their front yard and not clean it up. Huh, weird. Why are they so mad?
I don't know why. No, I will, because I get sick.
Poor Ben. This is where I feel bad for Ben, because he's like, let's stop, because this is getting, and fair play to Ben for that. That's a ding ding. You know, like I said with Sava, the green check mark. Bing bing. There you go. It's a good one. Good point.
Sick and tired of this, and not just from Kate. The abuse I get. And stand up.
So he just said, and it's not just from Kate, but the abuse I get, therefore inferring Kate is somehow abusing Brian, which to my recollection, looking at the chat, which I had up, yeah, I don't know where she, Jesus, I can't be reading the comments. Y'all are silly. I don't know where she abused you, Brian, but you're saying the abuse I get, not just Kate. Let's rewind that.
Kate. I don't know why. No, I will, because I get sick and tired of this, and not just from Kate.
I'm sipping. And it's not just
The
from
abuse
Kate.
I get.
The abuse I get. That sounds to me like you're inferring Kate has somehow abused you. Which, will she bend you over her knee and give you a little... Which, fair enough. You think that's abuse? We're all raised differently.
And stand up and be counted for what I do and what I've said. And what I stand by.
And Kate is standing up and being counted by the, you know, shit that was done wrong to her by the guy you've been propping up for the however long.
I'm talking about these fans that want to get so vile, personal, and everything.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about the fans that want to get so vile and personal, but not Stell. So you want to talk about the fans that get vile and personal, but not the dude that you defend every fucking waking breath you have, who does the most of what you're talking about? Does any of this make sense to anyone? Am I crazy? Because this is like, I'm not talking about the fucking, it's like Genghis Khan. I'm not talking about the raping, pillaging, killing I did. I'm talking about that one little thing over there that they did. It's like, well, what about what you did? What about what you allow? What about what you facilitate? No, let's not talk about that. I'm talking about that, which is exactly what I'm trying to not acknowledge over here. But that is what it's making me, like, it doesn't make sense, man. I hope I explain myself right, because this is fucking weird.
You may have a disagreement with Stell, and that's totally fine.
So it's totally fine to have a disagreement with Stell, just don't fucking tell Brian.
I never go on any other show and start typing in about you or Stell or anyone else that you've got beef with on other people's shows.
Not true, because earlier you just said verbatim, oh, what was it? There's another person who I'm not going to name. I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to say their name. But if you know, but I'm going to continue to talk about all the things that they talked about. And it's like, so you're saying you don't do the thing that you actually do, but because you don't say it's Paul or it's Johnny or it's Bobby or Jimmy or Johnny, or I think I already said Johnny. I was trying to make up names. But if it's not Jim Bob Bacon Bits, I didn't say it was Jimmy Joe Bacon Bits, so therefore I'm absolved from doing the same thing that I'm trying to say shouldn't be happening. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, right now we're having a discussion about something, and then all of a sudden,
yeah, we are, and she carried on to your point, and then you didn't like what she said, so then you get all fucking frazzled and start, I'm not talking about that, don't talk to me about stuff.
you want to do that, then call Ben out for not bringing the bloody comment up. It's totally uncalled for. It's totally unwarranted. You have your beef with Stell. I have beef with others. I've got problems with a few people. Never ever bring them up by name. Ever.
Oh, because it's not by name. There, it all makes sense. It's okay. You can fucking do whatever you want as long as you don't say their name. There's a song that I loved back when I was a child, and it's called Say My Name, when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. Keep on running games. Say my name. You acting kinda crazy, ain't calling me lately. Why you running game? Say, oh, out of front. Sorry. Anyway, that's a banger ass song. But my point in laughing at that is, I didn't say their name. So it's okay to just shit on them, bash them, do all the things that I'm crying about. Wah. Oh, but I didn't say their name. Well, I said your name. I said all your names. I'll say anybody's name. I don't give a fuck what you think. I ain't stealing nobody content. Copyright me, bitch. I don't give a fuck. I'll re-record this, upload it again, and just blur your faces and do the like FBI voice to your voice. I don't give a fuck. I'm done trying to remain on this touchline while these fucking mongrels are at play going, oh, we're allowed to do whatever we want. We were here first. You want to be Levy out? You're jumping on the bandwagon.
Because it's not fair on Ben whose show it is, and I apologize for doing this, Ben.
Well, that makes sense, because the hypocrisy just, it's at least consistent, because he says, sorry, Ben, that I lit your house on fire, but I'm going to continue to light your house on fire for just a little bit longer.
It's just totally, utterly unnecessary.
Is it?
It really, really is not.
Y'all hear me sipping?
You literally just said, I didn't think you're going to bring my comment up. And if I've misread that.
Is that what's so upsetting? Because she was like, yeah, you're not going to bring my comment up because it's fucking shitting on your little defense guy, the guy that you're like, oh, he doesn't, that's between y'all. But then let me bring him into everything, which therefore makes it then like they're all involved. Does that make sense?
Read that, then I apologize for that part. But there's absolutely no reason right now to bring that up.
But we're going to end the show there.
There's absolutely no reason to bring that up. Why? Because it directly contradicts everything that I'm trying to say. It's weird. It's weird. It's one of them things. One of them way there, as they say. I'm definitely not trying to Yeah, Paul. I was just scrolling through the comments real quick and I saw this. I can't remember Kate insulting a man's disabled child, but you defend the guy who does and does that to others and more than just me. Oh, okay. That's okay. Oh, Brian, we see you, buddy. 4K, buddy. I've been onto your game for a minute now. It's this boy who cried wolf, but really you the fucking one eating the sheep. All right, buddy. All right. But again, there's no need to do that, right? There's no need for it. But yet I just did it. Okay. The energy was not matched.
We're going to end the show there, guys.
Luckily.
But thank you all so much for watching. Aki.
Yeah.
Cooves, give your catchphrase, Sunshine. Give your catchphrase.
Oh, what should we go?
So, yeah, it's funny. These three people will all three tell me in private, oh, that was so bad what he did to you. Oh, that's really wrong. But yeah, he didn't do that to me, so I'm fine with facilitating it. Okay. Well, when you get looped into a little box and it all looks like that, well, you ain't really got nowhere else to look. Because again, I think it's like there's this weird energy going around because more people are Levy out, and Brian, to his credit, was Levy out, and he's been banging on about it regardless of people calling him anything under the sun, which he used to get it in big tons. And I've always, for me, my official stance with Levy is I support Levy out. I'm down for Levy out. However, I'm also, I don't know, stable enough to admit that I know a billionaire is never going to leave a $1 billion organization that's making hundreds of millions every quarter of profit unless you match said profit. It's just simple maths. Doesn't matter. He could do all the work. He could get us relegated 3 times over, but if the fucking club's making the same amount of money, he ain't leaving. So while I'm like, yes, Levy get out or Levy do better, it's just weird. I didn't realize bullying was on the agenda here. What's bullying? Well, I don't think I bullied anyone. In fact, I'm actually calling out the people who do it. And Daniel Levy in the chat saying, I didn't know bullying was going on here. Huh. Did you not watch YouTube at all? Okay. You attack the guy in the top corner who's done more for Spurs and for me than you will ever achieve. Okay, another failed upload. I don't need to know what private shit's gone on with you and Brian. I'm calling out the public shit. I'm calling out the shit that has been said in public that he's saying right now. Because, again, it's just doesn't seem like it's about Levy out or don't be abusive. It's about don't tell me when this person is abusive. Don't bring that into the conversation because that's not, like he's just said, that's unnecessary. It's weird. It's weird behavior, which is why I do believe Paul's right when he talks about the abject failure of Levy out.
Party in Germany. I mean, if you
he's talking about Elon Musk there, and we'll save that for another episode. Yeah.
Or you can go to an AFD conference and he's talking about raise your hands. I wonder what he means. I don't like the cut of your.
That's a scary face of Paul. I'm screenshotting this. Hang on. This is my new. I'm going to use this as a sticker on WhatsApp. I can't wait. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good. Oh, I love this. Oh, Paul, you son of a bitch. You fucking cheering for Tottenham. What do you like this team or something? You like this team, Paul? You want to support? Fuck off. Fuck off, Paul. Hotspur hippie. Talking about peace and love. I'm plugging in my power. There we go. Got it plugged in.
Cut of your jib, man. I really don't. So I think what's going to happen with this protest, I think a lot of people are marching.
Fuck off.
Begrudgingly. They might support.
So this is where I agree with Paul because it's people like Stell, people like Brian, facilitating people like Stell, defending people like Stell, that you get to this juxtaposition where it's like, I mean, what does that mean? It's like the worst person you know actually made a good point. Where it's like you're reluctantly like, yeah, I want Levy out too, which I do too. But I'll be honest, if there's a function that all these people are orchestrating, I probably wouldn't be there because, yeah. But, you know, to each their own. I wouldn't necessarily protest with them. Maybe protest like adjacent.
Support the cause, but they certainly don't support you. And you're, you know, the way you're describing people and, oh, we were first. Don't ever forget we weren't first. Is this all about you, or is it all about the cause you are fighting for? Because if it's all about you, people will see through that shit, and it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. So what I think will happen to the protest.
Interesting. So I'm not the only one who thinks that a person's actions can still either help or dismantle a movement that maybe a lot of people do agree with, but because this person's a piece of shit, you don't want to affiliate with them. I sympathize with that. I don't want to go to the function where people like Stell are, and then a photo gets taken and it's like I'm in the room. It's like all the photos of the people hanging out with the new P Diddy parties, you know, they got all the people in the photos. Oh look, he was at a P Diddy party. Oh, he was there too. I don't want to be at that. I don't want to be at that party getting photoed. So like I wouldn't be at the protest personally because of the people, but the message I think is still something everyone can get behind for sure. Just, you know, it's like why you want to follow that one thing over there that you really, it's really, really gross.
The protest, I don't know how many will turn up, quite a few maybe, and then I think it will fizzle out again because people will get the shits with the likes of you if you're leading the movement. You know, you talk about this club failing. You lot have failed so far. You've been doing this years. You keep on bragging. Fuck all's happened, isn't it? What failures?
Which is unfortunate for Tottenham's sake that they've been such abject failures. But yeah, I mean, again, like it's all fine, you know, getting people riled up for something, but not for me.
Failures, bloody losers, man, losers. Now, I think something that might happen as a consequence of a protest on the weekend.
Okay, this is where he goes on to talk about some other stuff. So I'll stop it there. We'll wrap up the stream there, but just know episode 2 will drop. So be careful what you say. Be careful about beating around the bush. Be careful when you get in your little comfortable corners of the internet and you're talking the biggin. Shit, I may talk about it too. But don't worry. I'm also not going to do the whole, I'm talking about a guy who's been in the UK, lives in Canada, but then he goes to the UK, really doesn't like leave. It's like, I'm narrowing it down. We're narrowing it, whittling away the suspects. Yeah, man. Brian, shame. Ben, semi-shame. Kuva, you sexy bastard. But a little bit of shame because you're photographed at the P. Diddy party. But look, y'all, again, be like the coffee beans. This is my attempt to be the coffee beans. And if you missed the whole spiel about the coffee beans, don't be a limp carrot. Don't be the egg. Be the coffee beans. All right? Because like the coffee beans, you're put into a situation and then you try and change the situation around you whilst it changes you. And that's my attempt at being more like the coffee bean, because I feel like some of these people, they act like they're a fucking hard carrot. They get in the water a little bit and I'm a little soft carrot. Oh, I can't wait to be walking down High Road with my 3 mates where we say fuck everybody and fuck you, but don't you dare say it back. But I would love to walk down the street with them and hear nothing. And then Kate comes in and says some one thing. Oh, Stell's a piece of shit, which she's right. Then he's like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. And it's like, all right, we see you, buddy. We see you. And, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I feel like the fucking the leashes are off. I don't give a fuck anymore because, like I said, with the ownership, I'm hopeless. With this community, we're a community, guys. You know, like Lee Gunner says, "Oh, come on, guys, we're all together now, guys. Oh, we're all a community. Let's all get together and we're all together." But don't you dare talk about that shit that this shitty person does, because it's not what I'm talking about. But don't be mean to guys. Don't. No, I ain't playing that, bro. I ain't playing that. I'm gonna call it all out. I'm gonna call anything I see that I want to talk about. I'm gonna call it out. All right. And if you don't like it, send me a text message and I'll tell you what I really think. All right. Which you could hear it here. Which thank you for the super sticker. Double sponsorship from Know It Canagism. I don't know how to say your name. This is the first time you've been here, but thank you for the support of the financial flavor. But you could like the video, you could not, you could subscribe, share the video. It really doesn't matter because I don't care. I don't care if someone's like, "Ooh, what are you talking about me?" Well, you know, sometimes the shoe that you're throwing around, it gets thrown back at you. Shout out George Bush, the war criminal for that. They famously threw his shoe at him and he didn't like it, but he actually smiled. But again, don't throw stones if you ain't ready for a pebble or two coming back your way, which again, you put your face out there, I'm going to talk about it. You put your opinion out there, I'm going to talk about it. You talk about talking, I'm going to talk about it. You talk about me talking about it, well, I'm going to talk about it. And it's not beef, it's not drama. It's literally just me. I don't give a fuck because I'm not friends with half these motherfuckers. They try to act like we're all friends. They try and put this affront on. "Oh yeah, we're all together, guys. All together, guys." Unless, you know, that guy that I really like said something and does continually say and do awful shit. Nah, that's where we're not all together. Don't you dare talk about it. Come on, guys. We're all together. Yeah, all together. All together indeed. But this last bit's for you. Stay blessed, stay fresh, up the lads, and be kind to yourself, be kind to someone else, and don't be afraid to call out the bullshit, all right? Come on, you Spurs.
Gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day.
Ange, will you ever stop mewing?
Stop mewing? Never. Alphas don't stop, mate.
어떻게 보면 자, 이번엔
저 궁금해요.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
Scoop me duck, got one of my rooms all flooded with gold. I done bought 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carat in stone.